Next, the Lieutenant. When Robert Gilliman revised his Codex Astartes upon his return, he added a new rank to the Adeptus Astartes, that of Lieutenant. These officers serve as the right hand of their company masters, helping to direct the troops in battle and adding flexibility to the command structure. Many battle companies frequently divide into 2 battle demi-companies, and command of each of these falls to a lieutenant. The Dark Angels and their successor chapters have readily accepted this new role into their battle and reserve companies. The many wars following the opening of the Great Rift saw the loss of multiple company masters, with few new candidates to replace them. The position of lieutenant gives rising leaders vital experience in combat and creates the perfect training ground for these battle brothers to become masters. The longest serving and most honored lieutenants of the Dark Angels are presented with robes and cowls, the austere markings of a veteran amongst the descendants of the First Legion. Then we have the Interrogator Chaplain. The Dark Angels maintain a very special cadre of chaplains known as Interrogator Chaplains, who are tasked with getting any fallen angel who has been captured by the Dark Angels to admit their sins and repent of their betrayal to the Emperor. Interrogator Chaplains are as skilled in the arts of interrogation, torture, and psychological manipulation as the most experienced members of the Inquisition. They are not members of the Inner Circle, though their duties require that they have knowledge of many more of the chapter's secrets than is normal for Dark Angels of their rank. Then, the Deathwing Knight. A Deathwing Knight is a fell-handed warrior of the Dark Angels, a member of the elite First Company, the Deathwing, whose glorious deeds on the field of battle are matched only by his unflinching devotion to the chapter. Deathwing Knights are a truly imposing sight, for in them lives on some semblance of the Lion himself. They embody silent strength and a veiled yet still palpable nobility. Within the Deathwing there are multiple circles of trust, with older, more experienced warriors ensnared ever deeper into the spider web of secrets. The most veteran Deathwing warriors are given the title of Deathwing Knights, the uppermost level of the order before being named a master. They become the ultimate upholders of ancient chapter traditions and the most skilled fighting unit of the Dark Angels. In battle, the Deathwing Knights are fell-handed foes, Terminators armed with storm shields, wielding ancient weapons specially forged for vengeance. Few foes dare to stand before them, none do so for long. In the stratified chapter organization of the Angels and the other Unforgiven, the Deathwing Knights represent the elite. Only the Masters and Grandmasters of the chapter rank higher, and they are only chosen from among the company of the Deathwing Knights, who are also members of the chapter's inner circle. None but the most fell-handed warriors from the First Company are promoted into the inner circle of the Deathwing, and displaying skill in battle is not enough to receive the honor of knighthood. A warrior must be wholly dedicated to the chapter and must display an obsessive need to carry on its secret crusade to hunt down the remaining fallen. When a member of the Deathwing is deemed worthy of the honor, he is brought into the Chamber of Judgments in the Rock to face a series of challenges, each of which has been individualized to test the candidate's strength, resolve, and loyalty to the chapter past any breaking point he may possess. Should the Astartes prevail in these tests, the warrior is granted the title of Knight and passes beneath the shadowed arch at the heart of the Chamber of Judgment. The Watchers in the Dark present to him a Mace of Absolution and the Storm Shield, both priceless heirlooms from the time of the Great Crusade in the late 30th millennium, with powers beyond even the potency of the Astartes who will bear them. In battle, the Deathwing Knights are used as heavy shock force. They teleport into the fight with storm shields locked. With incoming fire ricocheting off them, the knights march forward to assault the greatest threat with impunity, first slamming into the foe with their storm shields before laying into them with their power maces and flails. In the presence of a heretic, the Knights of the Deathwing power up their ancient weapons to deliver a killing blow of earth-shattering force. The most skilled and veteran of Deathwing Knights are known as Knight Masters. They wield an even more potent ancient power weapon known as a Flail of the Unforgiven. Next up we have the Ravenwing Black Knight. Mounted on powerful, heavily customized Mark IV assault bikes, the Ravenwing Black Knights of the Chapter's 2nd Company, the Ravenwing, are heavily armed shock cavalry. Those who survive in the Ravenwing long enough learn to take the doctrines of mobile warfare to the next level of mastery. If they can pass the 7 rites of the Raven, they will be included into the Black Knights, the inner circle of the 2nd Company. There, they will learn the real reason behind their hunt for heretics and the truth about their chapter's history. Ravenwing Black Knights ride to battle atop Mark IV Raven-patterned Space Marine assault bikes, powerful machines outfitted with deadly plasma talons. To signify their exalted status, Black Knights carry Corvus hammers, which are patterned after an ancient Calibanite weapon used to hunt the great beasts. The Black Knights' riding skills are supreme, and they can drive at top speed through almost any impediments to close on their foes. During this approach, their plasma talons tear gaping holes in the enemy, before they literally ride over their prey, cracking armor and sundering flesh with their Corvus hammers as they go. Against more formidable opponents, those Black Knights trained in the use of the Ravenwing grenade launcher fire a salvo of specialized rad and stasis shells, which can make even the most potent of enemies more vulnerable to a sustained assault. A Ravenwing Black Knight is a vengeful killer who will not rest until he has run his prey to ground. If his plasma talons do not kill the foe, the razor-sharp bill of his Corvus hammer surely will. Ravenwing Black Knights are often led into battle by a veteran Astartes and long-time member of their unit known as a Ravenwing Huntmaster. Ravenwing command squads usually consist of experienced Black Knights who form a swift and highly mobile bodyguard around a mounted chapter officer, or execute other specialized missions on their own. These squads usually include several other chapter specialists, an apothecary to tend to the wounded and recover the fallen's gene seed on far-flung scouting missions, a standard-bearer, and the Ravenwing Company champion wielding a deadly blade of Calibanite origin. When a Ravenwing command squad rides to battle, they form a rallying point for one of the most fearsome fast strike forces in the galaxy. Beneath the fluttering shadow of their standard, the black-armored Astartes of the Ravenwing bring death to the enemies of the Emperor. And the Wardens in White. The Wardens in White are the 2 oldest venerable dreadnoughts of the Dark Angels' Deathwing Company. Below the rock's vaulted galleries, beyond the corridors of shadows and the portal of penumbral sorrow, is the Chamber of Passageways. It is to this domed and mysterious space that each prospective Dark Angel's Supreme Grand Master is led by the chapter's Keeper of the Keys. As the greatest heroes of the chapter perform the needed rituals to send the candidate on into darkness alone, they are watched over by a pair of silent, ancient guardians. The cybernetic sarcophagi of these timeless gatekeepers are heavy with oath papers, purity seals, and honored decoration. The identities they possessed in life are now completely subsumed by secrets. Were any foe to penetrate the rock's countless defenses, it would be the duty of the Wardens in white to form the last line of defense. These Dreadnoughts are only ever taken to war in the very greatest need, and even then, only one may leave his post at any given time. During the fallen demon Prince Marbus's invasion of the Rock, early in the era Indomitus to free Luther, they fought for solar hours, cutting down swaths of demonic foes with torrents of assault cannon fire and plasma cannon blasts. Though both ultimately fell, an incredible tragedy, not one foe made it past them.